Hello guys, let's in the last video we have seen how to print and how to take values from a user, and also data type, to typecast the input data and all we have seen yesterday. In this video we'll see conditional statements and looping statements, and before going to it, let's see what are the different types of conditions that can be given. So if you equals can be given as a double equal to b, not equal is a not equal to b, less than a less than b, and less than or greater equal to. So a less than or equal to b, a greater than b, and a greater than or equal to b. So these are the different types of values. So when these conditions have satisfied, that returns a true value. So with that we can get like a, if this is true then we execute this, if false it will go to else, like that. And also we have nested if, like if else if, like that. So we'll see all of this. So in a statement the syntax is simple, like if condition, and the if we have to give if, and the condition what you need to check, and we need to give a colon. So this is very important to give a colon over here. Okay, like an example, I is equals c. Let's have an example here. A is equals to 33, b is equals to 200. If the condition we have given, colon and print. So only one statement. So we are not giving any brackets, I told you, right? So indentation is there, so we'll check what is that, what do you mean by indentation here. So when you give colon and press enter, it automatically shows a position. Like for example, I have given, suppose I'll take this example only, copy, okay, I have taken this example, I think okay. So when it basically when you are placing here, okay, when I press enter it will automatically show the line where this if will belongs to. So the statements below, like here, so print something. So all the lines below this which have the same indentation. Indentation means basically space, okay, spacing. So same indentation will belong to the if block. Yeah, okay, so that's how. So it automatically shows when you press enter, it will only take to the position below it. Okay, so if you don't want to have the print statement or some any other statements below it, just press backspace, it will again come from the beginning. Now if I press something here, print h, if I try to run this, you can see all are printing because b is greater than a, that's why these two are printing. Anyways, this doesn't belong to the if block, so it will print, but irrespective of whether this condition satisfies or not. For example, I will change this condition to less than. If I try to run, only h is printed. You understand? So this is how it will work. And for example, if you want to have an else statement over here, just I will else. For else also you need to give colon, okay, enter. So it automatically shows the position over here, and I will say print some k. I will delete this, so you will see what will happen. So it's printing k because b is not b is greater than a, but it is showing b, we are checking for b less than a, so this will be false, that's why it goes to else statement. So if I give greater than, and we got over both of these. Okay, now you can also give these operations also, like and so for example, b double equals to 300 I will give. So let us check if both these conditions are satisfied, then only this will write. So it will print okay, because p is not equal to 300, it is 200, but we are checking for whether it is equal to 300 or not. Okay, so this is how you can give multiple statement, multiple conditions over here, and or like that. And okay, now coming to the nested if, like so I will take the same example, copy, paste, okay, yeah. So now I will check for else if. So basically see what we'll do if else, and we will give a space and give another if, right? Here there is another thing like else if directly. Okay, elif, sorry, elif. Okay, when you give ellipse, it like it is like a nested if else, and you will give another condition here some b equals to 3. Let us give. So let's try whether it will print k or not. So it is not printing k because this is not equal to 303. Now let's try to be like 200. So enter. So wait. So basically why we are not getting k value, because this if statement is already satisfied, so it is getting out of the loop. So let us give here b less than a. Now let's check, it will print k. Okay, so like that. Again, if here we have used if, right? So again we can give like else statement over here, else print value of some r. Okay, so I'll remove this actually. So we have 3 statements over here, and let's check whether I will give equal to some 100. No, so basically if b less than a, no, because b is greater than a, so it won't print g. And else if b is equal to 100, no, it is equal to 200, so it won't print k. So the output should be r. Let's check that. So the output is r. Now coming to this statement. Now let's see examples on if else. Okay, so let's come to here. So here they have asked to check whether the id, that means address of object x and object y. Okay, these are 2 variables. We have initialized that object x and object y. We have to check whether those addresses are same. To know the address of a variable, in Python you can do id. So for example, let us take an x is equals to 10 and print id of x. Okay, shift enter. So the address of x is this. Okay, so either we can give like this, otherwise for your easy understanding, x id, let's take is equals to id of x. Both are same one. Okay, so x underscore id. So I'm printing this, you get this. So now in the same way I will try to do one thing. What I will do is I will take a variable y and I will assign the value of y to x. So basically x and y are both the same value. So what about the values, whether these both the x address and the y address will be the same or not, we'll see. Okay, the same thing we have done here. So we are taken on object x, assigned to 10, and now we are assigning the y with the object x. So now we are checking that whether this address of x and address of y are same or not. So if they also are same, we will print an address of object x and object y is same. Else print the address of x and object y is not same. Okay, so that's what we have done here. So id of object x equals to id of object y or not, we'll check. So we are getting as address of object x and object y is same. Okay, so this is what. Now let us see. That means if you directly assign without any change in the variable value of the variable to another variable, both will have the same address. Okay, we can have multiple like x, y, z, so on you can have. So for our easy time being, I am using only 2 variables like x and y is assigned to the x itself without changing the value of x. Now let us try to do a different way, where we have doing here we are doing x is equal to 10 and we are printing here object y is equals to object x and object y underscore y is equals to object x plus 1. Okay, So basically x yeah. So we are actually manipulating the value of x and storing in y. So now let's check whether the values of x and y are same or not. So it's showing does not have the same identity. Basically the both doesn't have the same ID number. So because we have changed the value of x, right? So that's why. So let us so let's try to print their address also. For example, print ID of object x and object y. So let's try to print this, and we can see these two have different IDs. Okay. So for example, this is y, right? I will try to change this to y1 and try to look into this now. See, both have the same, that x and y, because I have assigned the same, no, so both will have the same values, but the y1 which is having the modified value of x, so that's why it has the different value. And here we are checking for x and y, it is showing that do have the same identity. Okay, so this is how. And coming to I'll just make it as it is. Okay, now coming to the nested if statement. Here in this question they have given that if the billing amount is greater than or equal to 100, give a discount of 5%. If the amount is between 500 to 1000, then give 2%. If it is from 0 to 500, give 1%. So we need to write, so basically the user or the customer or the shop owner will enter the bill amount, so he should get automatically the discount, how much it is getting, and the how much he has to pay, the net amount, resultant amount. So for to take the input from user, what to do, we'll take input and we are writing a message that is enter bill amount, but by default it will take a what it will take, by default it will take it the input as a string, so we need to convert into integer data type, so int of input. Okay, now we need to, why we need to do it, because we are doing some mathematical operations, and also we are checking for a greater than 1000 or not, so that n should be an integer only. Now if n greater than or equals to 1000, so that means we are going, because here it is not necessary to give brackets, but it's okay if for you, if it feels easy to understand, you can give brackets, it's your wish. Okay, if n greater than or equals to 1000 colon, so this is the if statement, press enter, so it will automatically show the indentation, and print, what you need to print, how much discount he is getting, and the resultant value after discount. Okay, so before discount, how much the same value of n, right? So that one. So for printing in the next line, I have used a backslash n. So backslash n, so this is for new line character. Next, got a discount of 5%, so that's what, right? N is greater than or equal to 1000, we need 5%, so I directly wrote 5%, comma, and in the next line I need to print it after discount. Okay, after discount, how much, this is all the message, that after discount the rupees is n minus, that is how to calculate the net amount after the discount, original amount minus how much the discount, like the 5% of the net amount, so that's what, n minus this much, n into 5 by 100. Okay, so I have done the same thing. Now when we try to print, we'll check the input value. Now for if it is not, so for example, next if it is 500 to 1000, so else if n greater than or equal to 500 and n less than 1000, so now print the how much before the discount, how much discount he is getting, and after discount how much the net amount. Now if this is also not, that means else 0 to 500, if it is 0 to 500, actually we no need to give the condition, because only we have 3 here and we are already checking for 2, if not it will go for this, right? And again this, if you want to make it more efficient, then we can use this, like else if print this one, and that means sorry, else if I need to give condition here, so I will give a condition like n should be greater than 0 and less than and n less than 500. Okay, so this is the good way to do, because if we entered an invalid, if we entered, see here, if we entered 0 also, it will give a discount, right? But it should not happen. That means you will get a value of negative number, because 0 minus sorry, you will get 0 only, but in this question they had mentioned it should be greater than 0, not equal to 0. So that to mention that, I have given this line also. Now now what we'll do, else I'll print sorry, no discount. Okay, so let's check this. Execute. If I enter some 1000, 2000, so it is showing the 5% discount and how much we are getting. And if I run it again, and I will give as a 100 of 300, and we are getting a discount of 1% because it is from 0 to 500. Now if I give an amount of 600, and we are getting 2% of discount. Now let's check for another values like 0. So sorry, no discount, or otherwise I will give a negative number. Sorry, no. But if you want to make it still more efficient, we can also give here another else if it is 0, like if n is equal to 0, then show no discount. Then else you can give, if n is less than 0, then invalid amount. So this is for your exercise, you can do it by your own. So counter is equals to 1. Here this is statements. This all okay. This is for now if else statement. Now coming to the loops. Okay, so for coming to the loops, we'll see 1 minute. Yeah, so there is another called nested if, where this is a different type. Okay, so basically nested if is like if number, inside if there is another if else statement, and else you can have another if else statement over here, like that. It's a little bit different than else if. Okay, else if is like a 1 by 1 line, where in the nested if, inside an if there will be another if statement, inside an if there will be another if statement, like that. But where in in the previous one it is like if else, if else, if else, like that. Okay, now now coming to the loops. So basically in Python there are two primitive loop commands like while loop and for loop. Okay, so you know that for while loop we will give initialization above the while, and what is the condition in along with the while, and incrementation after the while. So this is what I mean. So I have initialized a variable I, and I have given along with the while, that is condition I less than 6 colon. So for loops also it should be mandatory to give colon over there. So colon, and we got to print I, and we need to increment I plus 1. So I told you the indentation is important, so these two are in the same indentation, that's why these two belongs to this while loop, like that. So don't worry, even if you feel difficult to understand, you will try to when you try to do, you will understand that. Okay, so break. Okay, now we have some break statements over here, and also continue statement. So break statement, basically if it satisfies there, it will get out of the loop. Okay, so we'll see this, you will be more understand of break and continue with when you try to implement it. So let's try from the initial stage. I'll do copy, I'll place it over here, and I'll try to run this. So it is printing 1 2 3 4 4 5. So basically, yeah, now it will be 5. So 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, it's printing. Okay, it's fine. Now if I want to print this, copy, So it will be some indentation, that's why. So now let's try to print this. uh, oh sorry, yeah. So that's what, see, this break statement should be inside this conditions only. Okay, basically break continue will work only inside a conditional operators, conditional statements. Okay, like if or if else, like that only it will be. Or also you can use them in this, what you call, switch conditions. Only both places only you can use break and continue. So that's why for using a break you need, it's compulsory to give some condition. So now let's try to run this. So we are only printing from 1 2 3 because if I is equals to 3 it should come out of the loop. Okay, let's do another example on continue. So the same, I'll take this, copy, paste over here. It will run, but just sorry, 1 minute. Now it is correct. So see here, 1 2 3 you are not able to print, 4 5 6. That means the conditions which satisfies this, those values are not getting printed. Like basically it skips the value. For example, I will take here greater than or equal to, less than or equals to 3. I'll see. Okay, now let's try to print 4 5 6 because the values of values which are less than or equals to 3, they will be continued. That means they won't be printed. Okay, they won't be printed over here, they will be skipped. Okay, that's it. So if now this is about while loop. Now coming to the for loop. So basically for loop, basically in Python the syntaxes is not a fixed syntax. It will have multiple, like the same thing will have multiple ways we can define depending on our use. Okay, so for example in for, if you see for in a list, so what happens, I have given a fruit with some array, some list. Okay, I have declared a list of fruit names, that is apple, banana and cherry. So how to declare, like an array only. Okay, it's like square brackets, you are giving double quotes apple comma double quotes banana comma double quotes cherry. Now we need to print all the elements that are present in these fruits. So how can you do? For x in fruits, so even we are not defining what is x, it will automatically see. So these are the advantage of Python, where it is making us very easy to do a lot of operations. Like if you want to do reverse, we have a shortcut like dot reverse, so many are there. Okay, so when when you are coding, it will make you, so like it will save much time, because there are many programs that are predefined inside Python. Okay, now coming to here. Okay, now coming to the for loop here. So we need for x in fruit set, so print x. So what it will do, it will automatically see what are the elements in a apple, sorry, in fruits. So that there are apple, banana and cherry. Each time it will assign, first it will assign x to apple and will print apple. Next it will assign to banana, it will print banana, and then attend a cherry, it will print cherry. How it knows that it is the cherry is the last? So yeah, so Python will automate by default, it will identify the number of elements in this fruits, and it will run it for that many times. If you give the statement like this, instead of x you can give anything, I, j, k, l, m, so or any other variable also you can give. So it will automatically assign to that variable and it will be printed. So looping through string, so this is basically looping for list. Okay, now through string, how to print string. So now we are giving for x in banana, that's it. So it will automatically count the number of elements in banana, and it will loop for that many times, and each time it will assign a value of b, a, n, a, n, a to x. Okay, let's try these two examples over here. Copy and paste. indentation check. Now enter, it shows apple, banana and cherry. Now if I try to loop this one, so it's only string, not an list. Okay, this is a string. So if I try to loop, it will automatically print every time BANAN in the next line. Okay, yeah. So these are the for loops and while loop. So let's see an examples for that. So here it is saying counter is equals to 1, while counter less than or equals to 3, print a counter. Now count plus 1 is equals to 1. After everything it should print end of the program. So that's the same thing I wrote here. So counter will initialize to 1 while counter is less than equal to 0, less than or equal to 3. Now print counter, this one. Okay, if I try running this, you'll see 3, right? So 1 2 3 is showing. So if I give 5, it will run up to 5. 1 2 3 4 5 at the end of program. Okay, now coming to this result is equals to 0 for index in range. So there is another way also, for there is another way of declaring it, that is range, in range. So for example, I want to print a numbers from 1 to 10 and which has to skip by like with an interval of 2 or 3 or 1, it's your wish. Let's see that. For I in range, in brackets I'll write what is the range, from 1 comma 5 comma 2. So what it is means, from 1 to 5 print elements with the increment of 2. So if I try to so print I, let's see how till where it is printing. Let's see first there. So 1 3, okay fine, let's give a value of 1 only. So let's see what it is printing. So 1 2 3 4 only it's printing. That means the higher value, the maximum limit is there, no, up to that -1 only it will print. Okay, 1 comma 5 it will print 1 to 4. If we give 1 to 6 it will print 1 to 5 only. So if you want to print for 5, if you want to print numbers from till n, okay, for example let us take this as n, that means till n if you want to print, I will give as n plus 1 over here. So what is n, I will show here. Input, enter a number, execute. So I am entering a number 10, so it will I need to assign this to n, right? Okay, now if I run this, I will enter a number 10 and there is syntax error. Okay, enter a number 10 and can't concatenate. Yeah, so I told you this, by default n will take what, string, right? So and your rating is n plus 1. 1 is an integer and n is a string, so that's what. So basically you need to change it to int data type. So int. Now if I run this and I will get 10, up to 10 it is printing because I have given a range till n plus 1, like that. So that same way here the workings, like it is starting from 40 till 10. Okay, here see, first initial value, ending value, increment. So -2, that's why it will decrease from 40. Okay, so let's have one more example here. Let's see what will happen if I give like this. So basically it went to an infinite loop because this n plus 1 is the starting value, that is 10, and we need to print till 1. That means until this value becomes 1, it will try to print this increment by 1 1 and all, but it won't be 1 because it is incremented from 10, but never will get 1, right? So it is inside a infinite loop it is. So we need to stop this program. Yeah, understand it? So I'm stopping. Yeah, but it won't show an error. With this there is no error here because you are given an initial value and stopping value, increment, but this value is never going to be 1 since we are increment it. But if, for example, if I give us -1 and if I try to run this, if I get to 10, it will reversely from 11 10 9, because from n plus 1, right? So that's what, or otherwise I'll give n only. So 10 9 8 till 1, because here we are given as 1. Okay. 0, now it will print 0 10 to 1. Okay, and the same thing here also, we are need to print this, and also we need to see what we need to print is the values which are only divisible by 5. So to check that, we will give an if here, if index is the variable that we are having, like we are taking here for index in range. So that's what we are taking also for index percentage x. So because this index will have the values from 40, next 38, 36, like that. So each value will be percentage 5. That means actually if it is divisible by 5 or not, how to check mod 5, right? So that's what. So mod will give the remainder. So if it is divisible by 5, the remainder will be 0. So we are checking that remainder whether it is equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, result is equal to result plus index. Okay. So result plus, basically we should print the values of sum of what you call, basically if it is divisible, we'll print that. Next we will store that 40 inside a result. In the next time, if other number is also divisible, then we need to add that previous value, that is 40, with that present value, and we need to print the result. Okay, so till that we need to do this. So we're only seeing 40, 70 and 90. Let's see why. So wait, so okay, yeah, so the only values which are divisible by 5 only will get into this, right? So that's why only we got only these things. So if we have 2 over here, let's see so many values. Okay, if I give 10, 3, the same thing. Okay, now coming to the another thing, like continue, I already told about this. So basically this 4 is equal to count, that means where the 4 will not be there here, right? Just skip it. Now coming to pattern printing. In this pattern printing, we are given as a sequence like 1, next line 2 4, next line 3 6 9, and next line 4 8 12 16, like that. Okay, and the second try different pattern is for n is equal 4, it should be 1 2 2 3 3 3 4 4 4. Okay, so how to do it? So basically we know that to print a pattern, there basically we need two, like because this is a 2D, right? 2D pattern, so we need two variables like I and j. So initially we are giving the till where, how many rows, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, so 7 rows. That's why I am asking the user how many rows you need to print the pattern. So taking the input. Now for I in range 1 comma n plus 1, because 7 means 7 plus 1, right? 8 till 8 we need to check. So until 7 it will iterate. So first it will take I value 1. Now in this for loop I will again initialize a j, that for j in range I 1 to I plus 1, because basically the second j will represents a column. Okay, so in this column what we need to print, if you observe the sequence, it is printing like first 1, second 2 into 2, like basically see 2 into 1, next one is 2 into 2, here 3 into 1, 3 into 2, 3 into 3, 4 into 1, 4 into 2, 4 3s, 4 4s, like that it is printing. So basically the row value or the row initial value will be multiplied with the table to its multiplication table. So I am multiplying 1 with j 1 into 1. Next column is what, the same I value is the same only, right? For this I only we are multiplying, so for 3 only we are multiplying 2, for 3 only we are multiplying 3, like that. So 1 into 1, it's 1. Okay, fine. Next line, it's completed, so it will go out of the loop. So this is because we are we need a space between them, right? So that's what. Sorry, 1 minute, we will have two things here. One is end. Let's see what is this. Okay, copy print. Just I'll give value some 3, or I will give this over here only, it's fine. End is already predefined attribute here, so end is equals to some space I have given. So let's see how it will print. Sorry, end is equals to, right, suppose I'll enter a value of 5. So 5, so in the basically it will print in a same line 5 4 3 2 1. If I don't give this, it will print in a new line like this. So that's what, because here we need to print them in a same line, right? So that's why we are giving this comma end is equals to. So when you give this statement or inside this print, then the values will be printed until the line ended with the space empty basically. Now we need to print this in a new line again. So to print them in a new line, we have to give print this. So for example, the same thing I will print here. We are printing this, right? So copy, comma, paste, and then below this I will give another thing like wait, let's see what happens if I try to print this. It will again print in new line maybe. Let's see because it's ended, and again we need to print in the new line. It will print, come to next line, again it will print on next line. So if you want to observe this in more detail, I can go with another thing like comma I plus 1. So it might be see. So basically 5 and 6 are getting in same line, and then again it will go to here the next line, and again some 4 like decreasing, no, 4 plus 1 is 5 in the same line, and again this statement will make it goes to the next line 3 4, because we are giving the statement here. So in the same line it will come 3 4, and the next line it will go like this. This is how it will work. So the same way here also, print in the same line, the columns, one column you need to be in the same line, right? So same row, and the next row will be initialized by this, given by this. So this is how we are getting this sequence. Now coming to the sequence of this 1 2 2 2, basically we no need to multiply this, because all the row elements are same, 3 into 1 3 into 1 3 into 1. That's why I am not multiplying anything directly, I only am passing. Okay, so then it will print all the same values like this. So this is what about if and for loop, if conditional and looping statements in Python. Hope you understood, and thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.